राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल जय सच्चिदानंदना जय सच्चिदानंदना जय सच्चिदानंदना जय सच्चिदानंदना जय सच्चिदानंदना गौर हरे जय सच्चिदानंदना जय सच्चिदानंदना जय सच्चिदानंदना गौर हरे गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल नदिया बिहारी गौर हरि नदिया बिहारी गौर हरि मायापुर चंद्रा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो जय गौर हरि निताय गौरांगो जय गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि वो जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस विराज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद डिवाइन गेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत सांस प्रपाद की जाय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस विराज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद डिवाइन गेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय आनंद कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगामणि यमुनामाई की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि वो थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग वी आर रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 1 creation title chapter 2 divinity and divine service the most important chapter in this canto very very important chapter actually in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam it's very important. It is giving the brief details of how to attain our love for Krishna in a shorter version and elaborated throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why it is called divinity, which is nothing but the absolute truth or the Supreme Lord, and divine service. Divinity can be attained only by divine service. So that's why this chapter is so important. So let me share the verse number 12. I'm reading. Okay, chant, repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी हरि ओम तत्तत्. So verse number 12. If you have Srimad Bhagavatam, you can open it, otherwise you can refer on the vedabase.net or on the screen if you are on the Google Meet. Okay. तत्श्रद्धदाना मुनयो ज्ञान वैराग्य युक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मनि च आत्मानं भक्त्या श्रुतगृहीतया तत्श्रद्धदाना मुनयो ज्ञान वैराग्य युक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मनि च आत्मानं भक्त्या श्रुतगृहीतया तत्श्रद्धदाना मुनयो ज्ञान वैराग्य युक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मनि च आत्मानं भक्त्या श्रुतगृहीतया. Word to word translation. Tat, that. We'll understand when we discuss what is this tat and other words. Shraddha-dana, seriously inquisitive. Munaya, sages. Jnana, knowledge. Vairagya, detachment. Yuktaya, well equipped with. Pasyanti, see. Atmani, within himself. Cha, and. Atmanam, the Paramatma, Bhaktya in devotion service, Sruta, the Vedas, Grihitaya, well received. Translation by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Shri Prabhupada ki jai. The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotion service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. Let's repeat, the seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotion service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. Try to understand this verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Sri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। So, we are discussing today chapter 2, Canto 1, chapter 2, verse number specifically 12. So, that is divinity and divine service. So, this verse is so to bring up to the speed so far what has been discussed, the context. So far, the 6 questions are asked by the Saunaka and other rishis. The setting the scene is in the Naimisharanya. And the sages Saunaka and other rishis, later is Shaunaka Muni, is asking the questions to Suta Goswami, 6 questions from the first chapter, question by the sages, that is the title. So very important questions. What is the ultimate good for the people in general? Sreya, not Preya. Preya is temporary. Sreya means permanent things. They want eternal results, not temporary results. And then they're asking the second question is, what is the essence of all the scriptures? And then the third question, why did Krishna appear in the womb of Mother Devaki and Vasudev? And then fourth is, please explain or narrate the pastimes of the Lord in connection with the Leela Avataras. And then it explain the pastimes of the Lord. Fifth question is to Guna Avataras. And then also the sixth question is, when Krishna left the planet, where did all the religion taken shelter? So these are the 6 questions asked. So now in response to that, the answers are given starting from this chapter, in this chapter Divinity Divine Service, in brief, starting from 1.2.6. So that is described as, that is what is ultimate good for the people in general, that is to perform Bhagavad Bhakti, to perform Bhagavad Dharma. So Sanatana Dharma, different names are there, but it is the same thing more or less. So which is talked about Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adokshije Ahaitugi Apratiyata E Atma Suprasidati. So we have to understand the flow and connection to this verse when it says Tat Shraddha Dhanam. What is the Tat? We have to understand. So the where it is mentioned here, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adokshije. Bhaktir Adoksha, that is what is Uttama Bhakti, the topmost Bhakti or Bhagavad Bhakti. So it is talked about what is the ultimate good in response to the question asked. So Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma, that is the highest Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. So then okay, what will happen if I perform Bhagavad Bhakti? Yes, I will perform Bhagavad Bhakti. Then what is the result? Why should I perform? That is being addressed further following. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnananche Dahetu. Okay, if I perform, first of all, who is the personality? Who should I? It should be performed to the against the Supreme Personality. His name is Vasudeva because he is appeared as a son of Nanda and Yashoda, son of especially Devaki and Vasudeva. Vasudeva's son Vasudeva. So that personality we should worship. We should offer our loving devotion. That is a Vasudeva Bhagavati. Bhakti Yoga. It is not saying Karma Yoga. It is not saying Jnana Yoga. It is not saying Ashtanga Yoga. It is specifically saying Bhakti Yoga. So that is a Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. What will be the result? Why should I perform this? Jnanancha yadahetukam. So Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayoj Janayati Asu Vairagyam. So Janayati Vairagyam Jnanam Chayadahetukam. Two things are happening. We are going to get realized knowledge, not ordinary material knowledge. That is being discussed in this verse also, the correct today's verse. Jnana, realized knowledge, and then also detachment will happen. If it is ordinary material knowledge, bookish knowledge, that's why material knowledge, yes, you can read it at home. The spiritual knowledge, absolute truth, cannot be understood or realized at home. We can self-study, yes, we should thoroughly study, but it cannot be assimilated unless we hear from the advanced devotees. And that is also being addressed here in this specific verse, today's verse, 12th verse, important verse. What are the different types of devotees? Three types of, four kinds of people it is talking about. And within that also again, that fourth category is, within that there are three categories of devotees that has been talked about. When we say we are keep talking about advanced devotee, what does that mean? Advanced. What are his characteristics? Arjuna is asking in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna mentioned, you must be situated in transcendence, Sthita Prajna. Then Arjuna has a question, what is this Sthita Prajna? How do I identify that person? How does he walk? How does he sit? How does he talk? What is the characteristics? Can you explain? That was the question. First question asked by Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2, verse number 55 or 54. Around that, where the actual after Nishkama Karma Yoga, a glimpse of Bhakti Yoga or Samadhi section is being talked about. That is the first question. In response, the whole section, last 15 verses or so, is talked in Bhagavad Gita. So same thing is being similar thing is being talked about here. The advanced devotees, what is his characteristics? There are symptoms laid out clearly by Acharyas, starting with Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has talked about it in great detail, and still Prabhupada is quoting that in many places throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita about this quality of advanced devotee or characteristics of advanced devotee. We'll go into that in a later part of this class. So here it's why we should perform Bhagavad Bhakti. That is ultimate good. That's why we should perform. And then what will it lead to? It is going to lead to realized knowledge, and it will lead to detachment from internal detachment from the worldly things. Whatever we are attached to, which is not in connection with Krishna. So we will be able to detach from that sense object in relation with us or our family or extended family. So that is what is the result of performing Bhagavad Bhakti. Externally, no detachment. Externally, we are not renouncing anything. Nowhere Krishna is talking about external renunciation. He is talking about internal renunciation. So then further it is mentioned, then what further verses are talking about, okay, if I don't perform, what is the result? Then dharma swanustitam pumsam vishwakshena katasya na utpadayed edratim srema eva hi kelam. Okay, why should I perform bhakti? Okay, you are telling I am going to get realized knowledge and detachment. Okay, what is the big deal? I don't need it. Then what will happen? So that is talked about in the next verse. If you don't perform, okay, I will perform dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Okay, I'll simply perform some pious credit, some charity, some Manav Seva, Madhav Seva. This slogan is regularly heard about in today's world. So that is addressed here. Actual dharma means to follow the injunctions of the Shastra, follow especially the rules given to develop love for Krishna, to have Krishna in the center of every day in our activities, day-to-day basis. It's not a one blue moon day when Gopastami comes or when Govardhan Puja comes, or no. Actually, that is what we were discussing earlier in Damodarashtakam program also. That Govardhan means it is increasing our love and affection, Preeti Vardhanam, constantly, regularly. That is also discussed here in this specific for today's verse. It is not a one day thing, it is everyday thing. Satatam kirtayanto mam. It is everyday, nityam. It has to be practiced regularly, slowly, steadily, gradually. We will come to that nishta stage, fixed up stage. So that's why here it is mentioned, Dharma Swanustitam Vamsam Vishwakshen Katasya. One who doesn't perform the actual real dharma of worshipping the Lord or keeping Krishna in the center of their activities every day, then what will be the result? Srema eva hi kevalam. It will give just fruitless labor. After working so hard, we don't get bonus, we don't get promotion. So how long are we going to work? People will leave the company. Maybe few years, you may stay, but nothing changing. Then obviously you will not stay. So same way, so if the balance is not increasing because it is not whatever we are working, whatever on the basis of name of religiosity, we may perform so many different austerities and different things, but in reality we are not developing getting any transformation in the heart. Neither we are developing love for Krishna. Then it is a srama eva hi kevalam. That's what. See the connection. Ultimate good is Bhagavad Bhakti. Why should I perform? It should be to get realized knowledge, to practice and deformation or transformation in the heart and detachment in the heart. That is the result of that. That's why we should perform. If you don't perform, then it will be simply waste of time. It will cause a great anxiety, great distress in the heart, great lamentation, fear, all the anarthas, 6 anarthas, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsarya. The 6 things, whether we like it or not, it is going to come. So because that is what material nature does. Whether we have to stay in this fence or on the other side of the fence. This side fence is the spiritual nature, and the other side fence is the material nature. So we have to make that choice. That's what Krishna is mentioning in the beginning of Bhakti Yoga 7th chapter. Krishna is mentioning, make a clear choice. So you cannot be in both sides. Otherwise, you have a fire. You ignited a fire. You want to cook, and then you start pouring water on it. Then how is going to flame up? How you are going to cook it? So that means you have to stay. You cannot be both sides. You cannot do both things. See, obviously you will get enjoyment. Doesn't mean it is we renounce things. We do the work, but Krishna must be in the center. That's what it means. So that's what it is telling us to not to perform activity without Krishna in the center. Then further it is talked about, okay, so how these activities must be done. Yes, it is Rama Eva Hi Kevalam, but how it should be, how our desire should be molded is being talked about in the 9th and 10th verses, where it is mentioned Kamasyana Indriya Preetir. Because generally Vedas are telling Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Why shouldn't I perform for Artha? Why shouldn't I perform for our own sense enjoyment? Kama. Because it ultimately is going to lead to moksha. Then why shouldn't I perform? But Shastra, yes, you can perform to fulfill your desire to the extent your body is fit. To that extent only we should perform. We should eat, we should sleep, we should recreate. But only to self-preserve, to keep our body fit, to keep our mind, to keep our everything peaceful, so that we can engage in devotion. When the body, mind, minimum basic necessities are not met, then they cannot take devotional service. That's why you see, if they have a problem of a disease, or problem of a job, problem of health, or problem of something else, then they cannot take up devotional service. Especially those who are poor, those who are something going on in their life, they cannot take up unless they come in touch by Agnata Sukruti, devotional service. Then once they see something happen, some transformation, somehow the problem is fixed or resolved, then they will take up. Then their determination, the faith will increase. Then they will start worshipping the Lord. And that is the general tendency. That's why Krishna is mentioning here, 9th and 10th, Kamasyana Indriya Preetir. Labo Jiveta Yavata. So it must be for self-preservation, not for actual enjoyment. Just like if we see a member of parliament or any government officials or in companies also, in US maybe little bit less, but in India managing director or above, They give a lot of facilities. They give a car, they give a home, they give so many, they give assistant, everything. Why do they give facilities? They give these facilities because the he doesn't need to look for things. He's well settled, or he's peaceful. He has everything nicely arranged for him. All the benefits, allowances, everything is given so that he can do job, because he is at a higher level. He is supposed to delegate. He is supposed to direct. He should be concentrated on how to do that business, how to take care of things or tasks or activities, whatever is been given, either it's political or an IT job or a business, whatever the case may be. So that's why the facilities are given to the higher responsibility. Those who are in the higher ups, for them these facilities are given. Same way for human being, the facilities are given. Why? It is only to preserve, self-preserve, only to the extent, keep our body and mind and fit, and then actually we do actually engage in this Bhagavad Bhakti. That is the idea, especially for human being. That is the purpose. That's what in 10th and 9th and 10th verses are talking about. Don't use this the senses or your resources for our sense enjoyment. It should never be performed. In the 9th verse, in the 10th verse, it is telling it should be only performed for only self preservation, nothing more than that. Otherwise, it will create a implication. We will not see it, because when this COVID comes or when we have a problem, everybody goes through that problem in life, whether it is a health problem or job problem, some problem or the other, we keep getting it in life, beginning or middle or end or later. So because that is not of that day's work, it is because of past work in this life or the previous life. So that's why in order for us to make a bright future, we have to act upon it, use our free will accordingly. Otherwise, the we get that kind of future. Then we have to suffer not only this lifetime, next lifetime also. So that's why Shastra is clearly indicating here, really what is the essence of all the scriptures is to engage in Bhagavad Bhakti. That is the ultimate good. So, and then the further is elaborated in this specific verse. Now, okay, you are telling this, you are going to get Bhagavad Bhakti. So that absolute truth, you will be able to understand this absolute truth. Then what is that absolute truth is been discussed in 11th verse. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yad gnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdayati. That realization of the absolute truth is realized in three phases. That is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. That means impersonal aspect, and then Paramatma, super soul, and then Bhagavan realization. So that is the three aspects has been discussed, and the same thing is discussed a little more in detail. Now in this verse number 12, Tas Sraddhadhana Manayo Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya Pasyantani Atmani cha Atmanam Bhaktya Sruta Grihitaya. Each and every word in this verse is very important. The Tat means absolute truth. The Tat means the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Tat means the actual Tattva. Tattva, what is the Tattva? There are many Tattvas. We discussed about the same Vadanti Tattva Vidas in the last section also. Just to elaborate, just to give the glimpse of, it is mentioned, there is a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita talking some of the major Tattvas. Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, or Rasa Tattva, Bhava Tattva, Sar, and then Prema Tattva. There are 5 tattvas. Krishna tattva, which includes many other things, we will discuss, and then Bhakti tattva, that means devotion service. By performing these all other things, Bhakti tattva, by performing Bhagavad Bhakti, ultimate goal of in all these things is to attain Krishna. Krishna tattva, understand Krishna and attain Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita we see that Bhaktyamam avijanati yavan yasi tattvataha. If you understand Bhagavad, if you need to understand Krishna or his energies, his whole, everything, all in all, we must perform bhakti. There is no, it is not by karma, not by jnana, not by yoga, not by any other thing. There is no other possibility to understand actually Krishna or the absolute truth about the spiritual nature, transcendental nature. Whatever names we give, it is all called absolute truth. So that the only way is by bhakti, bhakti yoga. The same thing is mentioned again. Janma karma cha me divyam yo evam yo veti tatvatah. Again, that tattva again there is also mentioned. One who understands the Supreme Lord's birth, his activities, his pastimes, his leelas, his energies, he can be delivered. He can be delivered from this material conditioning, attain the spiritual body and attain the spiritual his original form and have that loving relationship with Krishna. So that's why here in this specific verse it is mentioned Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva. So first we have to perform Bhakti to attain Krishna. Then what will Bhakti leads to next? It requires Bhava Tattva. Bhava. There is a mellow. When you initially then mechanically we perform, we chant or we come to temple, we take darshan. That is the neophyte stage. But slowly and gradually, when our faith increases, there is a certain kind of mellow, certain rasa we develop while chanting, while dancing, while doing kirtan. We have some liking, some rasa we develop. So that is what is that is not in a beginning. That's in a slow, in a smaller stage, smaller level. But actually, here in this verse, when it is talking about rasa tattva, bhava tattva, the mellows, it is at a higher stage actually. Asakti and bhava, ecstatic symptoms. It starts slowly in a lower level, but gradually it increases. The symptoms are being, we can really feel it. Pratyaksha avagaman dharma. We can, nobody needs to tell, are you in bhava stage or not. Actually, we will be able to realize it ourselves by the transformations in our heart. And Shastra is discussing the detail by giving the examples of Narada Muni later on in this chapter. Vyasadeva, Narada Muni has this, they have gone through these stages. It is not some theory. Actually, that's why Bhagavatam is giving examples also. Who has done this? Who has gone from this beginning to end stage? So, all these stages, that clear examples are laid out later on in the 5th and 6th chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam in the same canto. So that's why this tattva means these Krishna tattva to attain Krishna Bhakti tattva, then Bhakti will lead to next, because initially it is called Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. We are very much in the rules and regulations. We want to follow the rules, but we caught up with the rules of austerity. But rather we should be positive towards chanting the holy name of. That is actually the important. More than 4 regulative, yes, 4 regulative principles, but it is a basic. That is not a so big deal. But the important thing is chanting the holy name of the Lord and hearing about the Nama Rupa Guna Leela and doing some service, serving the deity, serving the devotees. Both are very important. Both must be done, not one or the other. There is no choice of question of I will just do devotees or I will just do deities. Both should be done, because that's when we increase our relationship. That's when we develop actual rasa. Other than, along with Sravanam and Kirtanam, the other thing, service to devotees and the Lord must be done regularly. Otherwise, we may keep on reading, keep on hearing, keep on chanting, but it's not really developing any taste. We don't have a focused chanting. We haven't developed any taste in it. So then we completely lose it. At some point, we give up. So because we don't develop taste, we cannot do so long if we are in the continuously be in that mold. So that's why here it is mentioned about this Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Prema Tattva Sar. Yeah, Bhakti Tattva will leads to Prema ultimately. But before that, we come from Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Bhakti Tattva to Bhava Tattva, where we this Asakti and Bhava stage. Then that will lead to Rasa Tattva and then Leela Tattva R. So that Rasa Tattva means we come to that 5 primary rasas of Shanta, that means neutrality, like the trees, the plant, the creepers, the cows, the birds, they are all in neutrality. Then Dasya Rasa is servant, master and servant relationship. Then Sakya Rasa, the friendship. So Dasya Rasa is like Hanuman. Even Krishna has in Vrindavan also Raktak and Patrak and many others, servant also. Daruka. And then friendship is Arjuna, Stoka Krishna, Sridham, Subal, Madhumangal, so many are there. A number of cohort boys and friendship, Sakyaras. And then Vatsalyaras, Yashodama, starting with Yashodama, so many elderly gopis are in Vatsalyaras. And then Madhuryaras, gopis of Vrindavan, so many. Thousands and thousands of gopis are there in the spiritual world. They are all serving Radha and Krishna. So in this way, these are the 5 primary rasas. Then there are 7 secondary rasas, Gauna rasas, Hasya rasa, Bivats rasa, chivalrous rasa, like Bhishmadev has a chivalrous rasa. So, but somehow or the other, ultimate idea is Kamad, Krodad, Dveshat, Hasyat, whatever way, Yena Tena Prakarena, Mana Krishna is here. Somehow or the other, it should be towards Krishna, whatever way, whatever rasa. So it should be towards Krishna. So then it will increase our loving propensity, and then it will remove or decrease our unwanted tendencies what we have in the heart. So that is what is ideal. So that is what when we say tattva, rasa tattva, and then obviously lila tattva. When we start chanting initially nama, when nama is slowly and gradually from offensive stage, we come little bit later on, then we come to the actually realize the form. The form will be revealed. Nama, not artificially thinking about while chanting, we shouldn't be looking at the pictures. Actually, while chanting, only thing we should supposed to do is as soon as we wake up, we wash our hands and mouth, we start chanting. We don't take bath and worshipping the deity, changing the dress. This is all later. The first and foremost important aspect for Kali Yuga, Yuga Dharma is chanting the holy name, nothing else. And this is the prime duty. If you do something else, it is not as per the Shastric injunction. It is not as per the our Acharya's instructions. Because we will not have time. We are also caught up with so many other activities. If we don't use the mode of goodness, Brahma Muhurta time in chanting, it's not so good for us. Yes, if we have some immediate duty to perform, taking care of the babies or cooking for the family members because they have to rush for office, that's a different story. Yes, that is also very important. That must be done. So we have to balance. Then we can chant few rounds in the morning as whatever we can do. So in that way we have to adjust. It is bhakti is all about time, place, circumstance, adjusting without creating chaos. That is also talked about in this specific verse. When we bhaktya sruta grahitaya, it must be the bhakti cannot be understood by simply reading. Bhakti has to be understood by the acharyas, authorized. One who is performing bhakti by his own whimsical way or picking up here and there pieces and then doing his own way, it will lead chaos. That means he doesn't know how to adjust his family situation. He doesn't know how to put things together, where to do what. So that is that. So that means we haven't understood. We haven't heard as from the bona fide sources. We haven't heard enough to adjust the situation, because then otherwise it creates chaos. It is mentioned Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatrika Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpataiva Kalpate. It creates a chaos. Suddenly somebody has started just coming to temple or starting having a faith, and you ask them, start chanting 16 rounds or start doing immediately the highest level. No, it is not possible, because we have to look at what is happening in his situation. That's why the spiritual master, the advanced devotee, has to understand, see what is going on with his life, with his situation, and then prescribe it. The medicine also, doctor will prescribe only to the extent the understanding. After understanding his symptoms, then he will prescribe the medicine. It is not a general, yes, regular fever or some small things, he can give same medicine for everybody. It is general, nothing special about it. But anything more serious, then he has to he has to understand his characteristic symptoms, then only he can give a right medicine to cure his disease. Same way, that is the job of the spiritual master, that is the job of the sadhu, that is the job of the advanced devotee, is to understand what is going on with the other devotee, and then accordingly give the instructions so that he can be fixed up, slowly and gradually come to the higher stage of bhakti. So that is the idea. That's why it is mentioned clearly. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatrika Vidim Vina. That Pancharatrika Vidhi means deity worship. Pancharatriki, Narada Pancharatra, Hayasirsh Pancharatra is there. That means along with Sravanam and Kirtanam, Pancharatrik Vidhi. That's why initiation is called and Pancharatrik Vidhi. There is a yajna, there is a sacrifice, there is a name change. All these are done is under the Pancharatrik Vidhi. And deity worship is under Pancharatrik Vidhi. There are rules and regulations how to worship the deity. It is not simply whatever we like we do. So it is specific regulations are there. So that's why it has to be connected. Sravanam and Kirtanam Bhagavat Vidhi, it has to be in connection with Pancharatrik Vidhi. and that's why Shruti Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidim Vina Aikantiki. If you want to develop that Aikantiki means one pointed attention to Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, then it must be followed exactly as per the instructions of the Acharya. That means we have to hear more. Pancha Vidim Vina Aikantiki Bhakti Hare Utpataiva Kalpate. Otherwise, it will create chaos and disturbance in the life, at job or at family, wherever we are in a community. So that's why it must be adjusted. Sensitivity, all these things must be understood. Bhakti is all about all these internals and sensitivity, the relationship, the circumstances, time, place, many times we see so Prabhupada his own example. When he went, sometimes he had to eat onion garlic outside. That is special cases. It doesn't mean that we can also do the same thing. No, it has to be understood. When Prabhupada went, they are not being told about that onion garlic not supposed to be used. We cannot take it. That is not being conveyed properly in time. So, but they are so much. They are ready to. They want to serve Vaishnavas. They invited so many devotees to serve elaborate cooking. They had so many items. They're too late. What can they cannot throw? Now that's why Prabhupada. So by seeing their their thought process, their endeavor, then Prabhupada has taken it. So what to do? Sometimes it is like that. So that's why time, place, circle. Prabhupada is very compassionate. Prabhupada is very sensitive about what's going on in others' life, and then he could understand immediately. As soon as he enters, he could understand what's going on in another person. He would enter their heart and instruct or transform them. So because that he is the pure devotee, he could immediately sense the surroundings. So that is what is being described here. So tat shraddha dhanam, that is absolute truth. The other tattvas, even to be understood, is other than this. When we say Krishna tattva, there is a Srushti tattva. That means how this creation is happening. That must be understood. Also, then Jiva tattva, the living entities. That's why Bhagavad Gita also has these 5 elements. In that Jiva is also there, and also Prakriti is there. So that is Jiva tattva, the living entities, and then Prakriti is also coming under Srushti tattva, how this creation. So the elements of the creation, exactly how it is created. So how to utilize that these material elements, these material resources, all this is coming under that Srishti Tattva. Then Jiva Tattva, then Shiva Tattva, then Guru Tattva. All these things must be understood. Guru Tattva means spiritual master. Who is exactly spiritual master? What is his position? That must be also understood. Then Shakti Tattva. Shakti means energies, and where the energy is coming from. It is Shakti Tattva means not just one person, Durga Devi or Lalita Devi or some personality. It is the whole idea of all the energies, various energies are coming under Shakti Tattva. So it's not just one. Energy and energetic. The Supreme, when in the previous verse, subject and object is same, it is mentioned. Because Supreme Lord, from Him only the energies, all energies are coming. Energy is coming from Him, He is the energy, He is the source of all energies. So that is why subject and object is same in the spiritual world. But doesn't mean it is all homogeneous. Living entities are separate from the Lord. They are called Vibhinnamsa, separated part and parcel, eternally. So we can never become, the soul can never become the ordinary living entity. The Jiva can never become Vishnu. Jiva can never become the Supreme Lord, Ishvara. Jiva Tattva is different from Ishvara Tattva. So Bhagavat Tattva. So that's why on these 6 Tattvas, Jiva Goswami has written 6 Sandarbhas to elaborately explain the conclusions of the Shastra. So that's how Acharyas does it, so that we don't create our own ideas and thoughts to elaborately to understand. They give these purports. So that's why the Shakti Tattva has to be understood. So there are many energies are there. Krishna has Parasya Shakti, Vividhaiva Sruvite. 3 kinds of energies, which is Samvit, Sandhani, Hladini, at a very high level. That is, Samvit is categorized, Krishna takes care of that. Sat aspect, Sat Chit Ananda, Sat aspect. And Chit means Sat is eternality, and the knowledge aspect, Chit Shakti. Knowledge aspect is Lord Balaram, which is Samvit, not Samvit, Sandhini. Samvit is Krishna, that is Sat is Samvit, Sandhini is nothing but Chit, which is knowledge aspect, that is taken care by Balaram. That's why he is the Adi Guru, is the representative of spiritual masters, of all the spiritual masters. All the source of spiritual energy and knowledge and everything, spiritual strength is coming from Balaram. Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So that's why we pray to him for the mercy. Without his mercy, we cannot actually spiritually progress. We cannot do any services. We cannot chant properly. So all these things are only can be improved by the mercy of Lord Balaram, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So then, yeah, Shakti Tattva, right? Sat Chit Ananda, Samvit Sandani. Sat is Samvit, Krishna is in charge, Chit is the Samvit Sandani. Yeah, Chit is nothing but knowledge, is equal to Sandani, is equal to Lord Balaram is in charge. Then you have Ananda, means happiness, blissfulness, that is Hladini Shakti, Srimad Radharani is in charge. In this way, Sat Chit Ananda means eternality, full of knowledge, full of bliss. That's why, as soon as we are born, we are looking for knowledge. Nobody wants to die. Everybody is looking for happiness through different mediums. We try. Same thing is happening. So these are three personalities are in charge. Ultimately, everything is coming from Krishna. But he has categorized like that. He has given delegation. Some of these. Actually, everybody is coming. Balram is coming from Krishna. Srimad Radharani is coming from Krishna. So he has expanded, Krishna has expanded into Srimad Radharani. Again, when he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again he combined and appeared. So it's an elaborate subject, that's another topic completely. So in this way, we have to understand the Shakti Tattva. The Srishti Tattva is about the creation, the Jiva Tattva is about the living entity, what is his position, how he is formed, what is gross, subtle, all the aspects, three level, the soul, and how it works, how it functions, what is position, what he is supposed to do, all these aspects are coming under Jiva Tattva, Srishti Tattva, then Shakti Tattva, then Guru Tattva, representative of the Supreme Lord. Only by his mercy, only by his divine instructions, by his divine service, we can understand Krishna. So there is no other possibility directly worshipping. Those who are in the neophyte stage, beginning stage, they want to come to temple, they want to take darshan, they are only seeing. Actually, that is why there is a one story Prabhupada gives a small story. Akbar and Birbal. Akbar is asking, what is the difference between the truth and falsehood? Then Birbal immediately says, 4 inches. What is the difference? 4 inches. What do you mean 4 inches? How does it explain? Then he says, yes, 4 inches. Because you are seeing whatever you are seeing, you are thinking that as a truth. That is through the eyes. Pratyaksha. What you see is what you believe. If you cannot see God, then you think that there is no God. Can you show me God? This is the question. Because they cannot see that, means there is no God. So this is the by there. That is what they think. Truth by seeing directly. But rather it's supposed to be heard from the realized sources, from authorized sources, realized sources. That is what is truth must be heard from the ears. So difference between the eyes and ears is the 3 to 4 inches. So that's why when Birbal said immediately quickly responded, and Prabhupada also responded like that. One who is realized, one who is very smart and intelligent in a spiritual, not in a material intelligence. Material intelligence will lead only maybe we will promote in our job or business, but rather actually the spiritual intelligence is very much needed to understand the subject matter, understand what we are supposed to do, how to resolve the situation, how to look at in a perspective from the Shastra. So that Srila Prabhupada, whenever he was asked questions, immediately write back. He doesn't need to think what it is or how. So nothing, because he is fully realized. He has seen the truth. He has seen God. He has talked to God. So he doesn't have any confusions about it. So that is fully confident. So that's why that realization will come from this, from executing by the mercy of spiritual master. He also received from his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada. This is parampara. That's why Prabhupada is explaining it is the Aroha Pantha and Avaroha Pantha, descending and ascending. People trying to do Gajarohana, Ashwarohana. Here, this is all trying to go on his own. He wants to climb up. But actually, it's supposed to be descending by the authority, by the authorized sources, by descending order. Evam parampara praptam. Then actually Krishna will be pleased by their mercy, by working under this authority, divine authority. Then we can perform divine service. Then we can come to attain divine nature. We can become godly. We can become saintly. We'll never become a god. We can become a saint, but we can never become a god. We can become godly, we can become saintly by the mercy and the association of sadhu, especially the bona fide spiritual master. So that's why we have to understand Guru Tattva also. So in this way, this when it says Tat, you can understand how much deep subject matter is there in this verse. And just Tat we discussed till now. Then Shraddha Dhana Manayo. Here specifically Shraddha Dhana means very diligent, very faithful, and what is the specific translation given? Seriously inquisitive, yeah. Seriously inquisitive means not ordinarily. Inquisitive means first of all we really want to understand the subject. On top of it, seriously. In this specific word is used in another place. When Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukadev Goswami is addressing Parikshit Maharaj. He has mentioned about Parikshit Maharaj, his quality, what kind of consciousness he is in. तद अहम ते अभिदास्यामि महापौरुषिको भवान यस्य श्रद्धा दताम आसु श्यान मुकुंदे मति सति. So the same Shraddha Datham, Shraddha Dana. So the same word is used there also, where it is mentioned. The Purusha is ordinary living entity, is thinking that when the living entity is called Purusha, there is a question recently. Actually, what is Purusha? Generally, we are supposed to be Prakriti. We are because the only Purusha is Krishna. Then why are we called? Then Prabhupada explains the Purusha means the male or female, when he has a tendency to enjoy, then he is called Purusha. Because the actual enjoyer is Supreme Lord, but the minute the living entity is thinking to enjoy separately from the Lord, then he is called Purusha. So he is trying to be a Purusha, trying to be a creator. That's why we are here in this material world. So that's why Shastra is calling, in many places we see Purusha Prakritistohi, Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam. Again and again we see that. So here also we see that Tad aham te abhidasyami Mahapaurishiko Bhavan. Mahapaurishika means great personality. Mahapaurishika Bhavan. Tasya Shraddha Masu. Where it is explained that Parikshit Maharaj, from his childhood, he was also playing with his dolls. He was very much eager and greedy for Krishna, because he was saved by Krishna himself in the womb of Mother Uttara when Brahmastra was released. And then he could see that Lord Vishnu within the heart, as Paramatma, he expanded from generally the super soul is also in the heart. So that is also another explanation I forgot to give. The Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, that is the sun god. There is the sun rays, then there is the sun globe, then there is the sun god. So that means the Brahman realization is the impersonal aspect, which is nothing but what we see the sun rays. It is just getting the heat and light. That is just effulgence coming. That is the first level of understanding. Then the next level is where this sun rays, where this energy is coming from. The coming from sun globe, some sun planet. That is the next. That is the Paramatma feature. There are the different examples I'll give. Then next explanation is Bhagavan realization, which is nothing but actually sun globe, sun planet. How is it operating? There is a person behind it. His name is called Vivaswan. Yesterday we were hearing the story how this Vivaswan is all the way coming from Brahma to Marichi, Marichi to Kashyapa, Kashyapa to what is the name? Kashyapa and Aditi. Son is Vivaswan. Yeah. Vivaswan. In this way, then Vaivasvata Manu. We are in the Vaivasvata Manvantara right now. So in this way, this lineage is coming down. So that sun god's name is Vivaswan. So that is actual. That means there is a person behind it. That's why there is the Bhagavan realization is compared in that way. Then you have Paramatma realization is compared as sun globe. Then you have a Brahman realization as effulgence is compared as a sun rays. In this way, three aspects. Now the same aspect we can see. The Supreme Lord is expanding through Krishna is expanding as Mahavishnu, the different layers. I will not go in detail, that's again one class. So from Mahavishnu again is expanding a three Purusha avatars. It is mentioned there, Ekopi aso rasayitum jagadanda kotim. Rasayitum means when he desired, when rasayitum in Bhakti, what is it? Brahma Samhita, I think this is 35 verse, I think. Brahma Samhita, there it is mentioned Ekopi aso, one time. Ekopi aso rachayitam, that means he wants to create. He has a desire, Lord is desiring. That's why we have a desire. Why the living entity is created? Lord has a desire to enjoy. Why somebody wants kids? Because he has a desire to have an additional person. Why we want friends? We want to have desire, we have a variety, we want to enjoy the rasa, the mellow. That's why Krishna has created. But when you have kids, when they don't behave, when they don't want to be with you, how will you feel? How will you feel? Because when kids go away and they never talk to us, they never come back. How will we feel? We'll be very disturbed because so much, Are Baba, we did so much, and how come they are acting in this way? Same way, imagine Supreme Father is waiting for many millions of lifetimes and is waiting. I have created for me to enjoy, to have loving relation with all these living entities, and then they never showed up. They are showing their back to me. I keep instructing as a Paramatma, and then still they are showing back to me. They never listen to me. But how much compassionate Supreme? We have a tendency, we have a hard time, maintaining our composure with small things from our kids. Imagine how much compassionate Supreme Father and merciful He is to tolerate our offenses, tolerate our so much we do unwanted things, life after life. Still He is tolerating, still He is instructing, still as a Paramatma is lying in our own body and going through. Sometimes we put the body in so much intense suffering, so much austerity, unwanted austerities also we try to perform. So that is putting the body, putting the soul in distress and super soul. So this is not really wanted. This is not really suggested by the Shastra, by the authority. Shastra may tell giving different austerity, but it must be authorized by the spiritual master. It must be authorized by the advanced devotees. Depending on the time place, it must be thoroughly understood. Otherwise, we take anything, a rule of austerity, and then you keep doing austerity, which is not going to lead to the transformation. So that's why it should be carefully understood. So that's why where it is mentioned, Ekopi also Rasayitum Jagadanda Kotim. When Lord desired to create, then he became Karanodaka Sai Vishnu from Mahavishnu. Lord Narayan expanded him into Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. Jagadanda Kotim. Universes started pouring out from his skin pores, starting coming out from his Niswas and Uswasa, that means from his breathing. These universes are coming out from his skin pores. From his, so many universes, so many bubbles are coming. Each of them are universes, these material universes. That is the first understanding. So there are three Purushas. You see that. So that is called Rasayitam Jagadanda Kotim. Then Yat Chakshuresha Savita, Ekopi Aso Rasayitam Jagadanda Kotim. Andantarastu Paramanasya. Andantarastu Paraman. So that Andantarastu. Again, when Lord wanted to create, he became a Karanadu Sai Vishnu, then material universe coming out. Then again he has to become again, that universe, that bubble cannot exist on its own. Then he has to expand himself into Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. He is entering into that Anda. That means Anda means universe, like in an egg form. So he is entering into Garbhodaka, into universe. Then he as a Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, second personality, second Purusha. Then from there again, Andantarastu Paramanu Chayantarastam. Again, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu again expanded. Third Purusha avatar is called Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, Paramatma. So that time. So that Paramatma is nothing but Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. He is entering into each and every atom. Paramanuvad. Understand that whole, how this each and every atom. If Lord is everywhere, then how do we say that Lord is not in the Acha Vigraha? Prabhupada was mentioning in the class. In his class, so that is clearly defining that with if he is Sarvavyapi, is there as a in a Brahman effulgence, he is there as a impersonal form. Then what makes us think that he is there in each and every atom as Andantarastu Paramanu Chayantarastam? Then what makes us think that he is not in Acha Vigraha? So he is there in every atom. That means he is also in Acha Vigraha. He is a deity, he is a personality, he is a form that is also the form of the Lord. So that's why it has to be thoroughly understood from the realized soul, bona fide Acharya. Otherwise, we'll give our own conclusions, wrong conclusions. So in this way, three Purushavasaras are there. In this way, the actual personality from the Supreme Person is expanding also as a Paramatma also, Super Soul. This is also only in the material world. Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu is not in the spiritual world. Paramatma is not in the spiritual, only in the material world. When he wants to create, then only he is becoming Paramatma, is there in each and every demigod, higher living entity, lower species, and animal, everywhere, in all species of life, he is there as Paramatma. He is only guiding, instructing. He is watching and guiding and instructing. He is not forcing. If he is forcing, we would have been somewhere else. But because love is not by force, love is by free will, by choice. It must be, so we have to understand and follow. It is our own decision. But he can give instructions. To the degree we want, he will keep on giving instruction. So that is his duty. That is what we have to understand, this tattva of Brahman, Bhagavan, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Three realizations. The ultimate realization is Bhagavan realization. The karmi is the fruitive activities, those who are performing, those who are not on the transcendence, not spiritual path. They think body is all in all. Then they are operating on the platform of karma, that fruitive activities. They engage in some charity work. There are it's all fruitive activities. That means you are getting a positive balance, and then you may get nice birth, nice beauty, beautiful body in the next life. That's all. Nothing more than that. Once the resources are depleted, bank balance, then again we will get some other species of life. So we may not even get human birth, because that's how these fruitive activities work. That is why it is called karma, a theory of karma. Then there are four kinds of people. The second kind of people is those who are operating on the Brahma Jyoti or Brahman. Those who want to be jnanis. They are always researching things, empirical philosophy, or Jnana Marga. They are always trying to understand by logic and argument. That is called Jnana Marga. Then they will merge into Brahman effulgence. They are always have this impersonal idea. Nirakar. But Shastra is clearly explained. Nirakar means which doesn't have, means Lord doesn't have a material form. Lord has a personal form. Lord has a spiritual form. Sachidananda Vigraha. He never becomes conditioned. So that is why it is called Nirakar. Yes, Lord means he can be formless, he can be also as a form. So, but when he is all in all, full in full, that is a personal form. So, impersonal form is only limited. Just like the sun rays is coming, where sun is getting, it is coming from the spiritual world, from the toenails of Krishna. Esya prabha prabhavato koti jagadanda koti. So that effulgence is coming from Krishna's toenails. Otherwise the sun cannot even give that effulgence. The moon cannot give its effulgence. So that's why we have to understand. So from the Shastra here, that Bhagavan, Brahman and Paramatma realization, this tattva, Shraddha Dhana, Parama. So that Shraddha Dhana means seriously inquisitive. So Parikshit, Sukadeva Goswami is glorifying. You are the greatest personality. You are thinking. You are so much inquisitive, and especially you have a strong determination and faith. Mahapaurishuka Bhava, not ordinary jiva. Your great personality has intense eagerness, intense endeavor, or eagerness, greed towards the Supreme Lord, constantly searching for. That's why he is called Parikshit. He is searching for that Lord who he has saw. That the soul, as a super soul is only 1/10,000 tip of the hair, but he could expand to 9 inches. Super soul can expand 9 inches, so that he could see, Parikshit Maharaj could see within the womb, he could see the super soul. You can understand, he is not ordinary personality. So in this way, Parikshit Maharaj has been glorified. Yes, Shraddha Datam Asu. Because of your sincere endeavor, serious inquisitiveness you have, so that's why you automatically, very soon, very quickly, Asu means very soon, you will attain Krishna. Syan Mukunde Mati Sati. You will attain Krishna in very quickly. Very quickly. In 7 days, he could attain Krishna. So that's why it is mentioned. So when you say here Shraddha Dhana, it requires a strong intensity and strong faith. And Shastra is telling, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is elaborating on this in this previous verse. Shruti Smruti Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidim Vina Aikantiki Bhaktir Harer Uttapataiva Kalpate. There, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is commenting on that verse. What it means is, one who is not giving up their anarthas, unwanted activities, impious activities, then he will never be able to get the mercy of the holy name. Because he is not giving up the unwanted activities, anarthas. As I mentioned, when you have a fire, if you keep on putting the water, then there is no way you can have the fire. You cannot do the thing. You cannot cook. You cannot get the actual whatever you want, the heat and light. So only when you come out of this unwanted activities, impious activities, then only you can actually grow in devotion service. Actually, you can transform your heart. That's why it is mentioned here. The example is given in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sikshastakam. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Sriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadu Jivanam Anandambudhi Vardhanam Pritipadam Purnamruta Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. The first step is cleansing. What kind of cleansing? It is given as a mirror. If you want to see, you have a dirtiness externally, yes. If you want to see your how we look, then we look at the mirror. But if the mirror is dusty, then we have to clean it. Same as that cheto dharma, that means consciousness. In order, just like the externally, in order to clean, we clean the mirror, the dust, we wipe it. Not one day, not one day. Yes, if you, so much dust is there in everywhere, wherever, throughout the world, wherever we go. For few days, if you don't clean up your home, you don't clean your car, you don't clean, then so much dust comes. Despite we close the doors, we close the windows, still so much dust is there. So the same way, so the same dust, if it is ordinary material thing, so much dust is there. Imagine how much dust is accumulated for many lifetimes in the consciousness, in the chitta, in the heart. Unwanted things are piled up. Then imagine how it is going to operate. You cannot even see things. That is external vision, your eyes cannot see. Imagine the consciousnness, how it will operate when everything is covered up. That is why it is called, Shastra is telling, that is called Mayaya Apahrata Gnana. The intelligence is being taken out because it is being covered. The Prakshepatmika Shakti and Avaranatmika Shakti is working very heavily. Even though you want to come to temple or you want to do service, you cannot do it. You want to chant every day nicely, but you are not able to chant because this is the that serious inquisitiveness, seriousness is not there, because we are not giving up the anarthas, we are not giving up the impious activities. So more we tendency to continue on the impious path of the impious activities, then the covered up nature, the Prakshepatmika Shakti and Avaranatmika Shakti act heavily. It will not let you grow. And that is the covering. That's why the example is given of Chandra there, Chandrika Vitaranam. It is also giving the example of Sarvatma Snapanam. That means we are supposed to take bath every day. That means we are supposed to cleanse our mirror, cleanse our consciousness through chanting the holy name of the Lord every day, not one day or once a week. It is everyday business. And then it is giving the example of Chandra. It means obviously it is bright and apple. That is one example. But another way to look at it is also, when we look at the moon, one day it is full moon, but all rest of the days, what will it happen? The moon is growing up, and sometimes that means it is going through a cycle. It is nicely becoming full moon. At other time, it becomes dark. Slowly, it is winding down. Small. You see, the moon is changing. Same way, our consciousness, our mind, our intelligence is getting affected. Sometimes we are up in a bright. In our consciousness, we are bright. That means we are in a nice and pleasing mood and attentive to the details. We are very sensitive, and we chant nicely, we read nicely, we perform devotion service. And then other day we are so down. We are caught up with so many things. We cannot concentrate. We cannot be sensitive. We cannot be focused, fixed in chanting. This is happening. So that's why it is mentioned as a duty, as a matter of duty. First step is as a matter, whether we like it or not. We should do hearing, we should do chanting, we should do service whenever possible. Is it every day or once a week, whatever that. But it must be done consistently. That is why it is meant Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate. If you want to come to the Param Vijayate, then we must do everyday business. It is not once in a blue moon day. Otherwise, we will go through just like the moon is going up and down, we will also go through up and down. So that means when the anarthas, the impious activities are going like this, we cannot really get the mercy of the holy name. If we don't get the mercy of the holy name, there is no possibility to understand Krishna Tattva. We cannot even come to the surrender to a spiritual master. We will not be understanding the essence of the Shastra, which is Sadhu Sangha, associating with devotees. We don't have a tendency to serve and hear and developing loving relationship with the devotees. So that tendency is not there. That propensity itself is not there, because of this impious credits, impious activity, undesirable things. So that's what the Cheto Darpana Majna is mentioning in the first verse of Sikshashtakam. So that's what in this verse we see Tasraddha. If you want to be eager or inquisitive, then it must be carefully thought about this process of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining in the first verse. The second verse is also explained furthermore. Namnam akar बहुधा निज सर्व शक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशी हा जनना अनुरागा. So where Mahaprabhu is explaining that there are so much energy, all these various energies, whatever we discuss, different tattva, different energies, all energies are placed in these holy names. Namnam akar bahuda, all energy, bahuda nija sarva shakti, tatrarpita niyamita. He has put all those into this holy name as well. Hare Krishna Mahamantra Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha. Smaranena Kalaha. That means we are supposed to remember every day. Smaranena Kalaha. Etadrasi Tavakrupa. By the mercy of a bona fide spiritual master. Just like you have a problem with God. If you want to see God, this the example, this verse is talked about. Prabhupada is talking in one place, one of the class is telling, I have named Krishna consciousness, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This verse is pointing out this verse. Can you show me God? What exactly absolute truth means? It is nothing but to attain Krishna's consciousness. What he desires, I also desire the same way. He wants to have a loving relationship with me, then I also want to have a loving relationship with Krishna. So that is why he named. This specific verse is quoted. Prabhupada is quoting this verse, this specific from here Prabhupada has taken. I want to name the society as Krishna consciousness. You can understand how much important it is. That is what seriously English Shraddha. So the Sarvatma, not Sarvatma, नाम अकार बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा. Just like when you have a problem with them, if you want to show God, if you want to see God, how will you see God? Only by the mercy of a devotee. How is that? Just like if you have a problem with your car, where you will go? You have to go to a mechanic. Even though we are seeing there is a problem, but can you detect? Can you resolve it? Can you fix it? No. You have to take to a mechanic for it to be solved. So then we take it to mechanic, then he will solve the problem immediately. Okay, there is a problem here in this part, then he will fix it because he has realized, he has studied that particular piece automobile and understood how to fix it. So same way the spiritual mercy of the spiritual master is needed. We cannot fix, even though now latest trends and technology is coming, everything is on YouTube, but still somebody is putting that video of this, how to fix this particular item, whether it's your bathroom thing or whether it's a car or gadget, everything is now in YouTube. Everything is Google is the spiritual master nowadays. So but still you are supposed to come to that medium. Somebody is giving that knowledge. But if it is a serious problem, still you, not only you, even though you may have a video, still you have to refer to a friend who is expert, who has done it, or you refer to a mechanic and you take the car or take the particular thing to get it fixed, or a doctor when a serious problem. For ordinary things, yes, somebody you may consult your doctor or a brother or a friend, then you resolve it. But if it is a serious problem, you still, even if a doctor comes into a serious, he has to refer to another doctor. He himself has to go to a doctor, has to go to hospital, admit in hospital and get resolved, cure his disease. Same way that the only when, even though all the energies are there in the holy name, the holy name has its effect, but still you need a mercy from a bona fide spiritual master. Mahaprabhu is telling, I don't have any taste for the holy name. Nam akar bodha nija sarvasa tatarpita niyamita smaranena kala etadrasi tava krupa. Tava krupa, by the mercy of the Lord and his dear devotee. Tava krupa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva midrasi. But unfortunately, na anuraga. I don't have attachment to the holy name. So Krishna, so I want to chant, but please give me the mercy. You have invested all your energies, but give me the mercy to chant every day. So that means we have to serve that advanced devotee. What is the quality of advanced devotee? Then let's come to that point to understand this. What is the characteristics of advanced devotee? So that we can understand where we are situated. What is our position? How we can come to that stage. And it has 9 characteristics Rupa Goswami is explaining. The first characteristic Rupa Goswami is explaining is Kshantir, that means forgiveness. The next characteristic Rupa Goswami is explaining is Namagana Sadaruchi. That means he is fully engrossed in tasting the holy name, chanting the holy name. Before that, the second character is Avyardha Kalattam. He doesn't waste his time. So if you are looking for, this is another characteristic. When somebody is looking for a bona fide spiritual master, the way we have to look at it is read Srila Prabhupada books, we understand. And other than that, we should also know who is closely following Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, just like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has so many disciples. But out of all of them, who has followed closely his divine instruction or his spiritual master? Only Srila Prabhupada has followed. Nobody else could do this. Same way, out of Srila Prabhupada, so Srila Prabhupada may have many, but if same way, spiritual masters, previous spiritual masters may have many, but those who are following closely, very closely, They have taken the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, the divine instruction, to the heart and soul, fully meditating, full of anxiety and eagerness and so much greed to fulfill that instruction. Otherwise, they cannot even sleep. That is the consciousness. That is the consciousness of actually the spiritual master who is in the advanced stage. That's why he will never waste a single moment. Prabhupada never wasted a single moment. That is the characteristics of advanced Avyartha Kalatvam. He tries to do chanting or hearing or serving or something or other, even though he might be doing external mundane things, but internally his consciousness is focused how to improve his things. So that is Avyartha Kalatvam. Then it is mentioned about Namagana Sadaruchi. He doesn't waste his time. He always forgiveness. We see Srila Prabhupada. So many devotees, so many presidents, so many sannyasis made so many mistakes. They changed from sannyas to grahastha to even lower than that. Sometimes they fell down completely. Also, he had so many mistakes. They took money and left temples also. So many things they did. But still, Prabhupada, still, if they come back to him, they still Prabhupada shown very much merciful. He forgive. He doesn't want to change the president even though they made mistakes. So, yes, obviously everybody makes a mistake, but they repent for that. They ask for forgiveness when they fight with other devotees. They ask for forgiveness. Because that is the Vaishnava etiquette. When you make mistakes, you are supposed to forgive. Especially you are supposed to approach spiritual master. Especially if you are initiated. This he has done. How can I rectify this situation? So then spiritual master will instruct what to be done. But otherwise, there is no possibility. If you don't follow, then we should seek forgiveness. If there is in a wrong way we have acted in a particular circumstance, then we should seek forgiveness from that devotee. Otherwise, Krishna will not forgive. Yes, we may do offense to Krishna, he will forgive, but when we do offense to the devotees, Krishna will never forgive. That we have seen a number of examples throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everywhere. Even Bhagavad Gita also, we see that. Why war has to happen? Because Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, what they have done to Draupadi, what they have done to Pandavas, how many times they have done, not one time, so much aggression they have done, unwanted, unwarranted. Then there is nothing to do about it. When Krishna sees that his devotees being put in anxiety, harassed, then immediately Krishna has to bring his completely force that living entity to put in completely. He cannot do anything. He will be completely distraught. It's just a matter of time. He will face severe challenges in his life, because that is what is going to happen, because of by bringing, that is called Hasti Snan, the elephant taking a bath. So it will be like an elephant entering into the garden. The whole garden gets destroyed. So that is what when we offend Vaishnavas, like a huge electric transformer. When we touch the transformer, finished. So that's how it is. That is so dangerous, especially if he is done to advanced devotee. That's it. We have to be very careful. That means we are. That's why Prabhupada himself used to pray, "Let me not be attracted by Maya." He's not thinking, "I am great devotee, I am pure devotee." He's not thinking. He's always thinking how to improve. He's always careful in his dealings. Gentleness and carefulness, forgiveness is there. So that's what we see, that Avyartha Kalatvam, the Kshantir, forgiveness, and then we see that Namagana Sadaruchi, they are fully as a quality of the holy name, Gana, the Sankirtan, and the Kirtan, Namagana Sadaruchi. They have so much taste. And Preeti the Vasati Stale, they always want to be, their heart is Vrindavan, their heart is Mayapur, or they are situated in the holy place. Either way, wherever Prabhupada is there, that's where Vrindavan. Because wherever spiritual master service is, that is Vrindavan. That is what Prabhupada is carrying, his divine instruction of his spiritual master. So that's why Prabhupada said, I was never alone. I was always with my spiritual master, because he is carrying the instruction of his spiritual master. Obviously, his spiritual master is the one who is guiding. He is the one who is sending all his representatives, all his disciples, all the energies, everything. He is the one who is arranging. Who is arranging otherwise? And whose mercy things are being arranged? So that is the only by divine spiritual master. That is the power of actually bona fide spiritual master, who is in this advanced stage, especially in pure devotion, Uttamadhikari stage, Paramahamsa stage. So that's what is been described here, where it is mentioned Kshantir, Avyartha kalatvam, viraktir manasunyata. That is also, I forgot. Virakti means fully detached. He is not attached to material things. That means he is fully detached internally. Yes, people make you a lot of money, Rolls Royce car. So many times from so many people ask questions to Prabhupada, hey, how come you are running or roaming in this Rolls Royce car? So you are supposed to be. I thought saintly person means simple. It doesn't so much exhibit or take so much gold or jewelry, this and that, pomp and all these things. But Prabhupada said, yes, this is nothing. Rolls Royce is what is this? It is just a made of a material element. Is it a big thing? Yes. In your view, you think it is the greatest thing because you have put a value to it. But when it comes to the spiritual transcendent, what is the value and it compared to the spiritual thing? This Rolls Royce or whatever you name it in the material world. It is not. It is just a piece of matter. It has no value whatsoever. It is only temporary. So that's how Prabhupada compared. So yes, this is nothing. In that sense, Prabhupada sometimes he has given different answer. This is because I have accepted as spiritual master is accepting the service of his disciples. So looking at what is the consciousness the speaker, the person is asking, Prabhupada responds in that way to address the problem. Sometimes they are arrogant, their pride, to really cut off his pride. Sometimes Prabhupada is very strong and address it right away. So the Prabhupada, pure devotee knows how to address, what to fix, how to fix the problem from the other side. So that is the divine character, Virakti. But he internally is fully detached. The praise comes on so many times, he is being glorified. But Prabhupada is always passing that glory to his spiritual master. He never considered that I am greatest, because of me everything is happening. He never considered that. That's why he is able to transform. So that is a Virakti. Mana Sunyata, that means he is not thinking everybody should respect me when I walk in. No, he is not thinking that. He is always thinking how I can. He is always offering his respect. He is always glorifying his devotees, his disciples. Many times we see Srila Prabhupada glorifying his devotees. That is Manasunyata. He doesn't expect respect, but he is giving respect to all others. So there is a quality. Then Asa Bandha and Samutkantata. Asa Bandha means hope, always hoping to get the mercy of his spiritual master, hoping to get the mercy of the Supreme Lord, hoping to improve his chanting, improve his devotion service. Always positive. He is not in a negative thinking. Is always positive. Samutkanta means Utkanta means anxiety for the serving the Lord, and Samutkanta means Samyak, full of anxiety. That's why Prabhupada, you'll see, he is never, he is not able to sleep also. Only few hours he used to sleep, just to keep the body fit. Not 6 hours. He used to sleep 3-4 hours at the best. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also we see that. How are they operating? Because of the spiritual energy. That another example also, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. I've just, through my reflections, I was thinking that way. The soul, the living entity, the soul, and then from there, how the soul energy is passed out. Just like the sun god, the personality, Vivaswan is there, from him sun globe is there. From there, the energy is coming out as sun rays. Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman. Same way, the soul is there, and from soul, how the energy is distributed, how the body is working, functioning. Because the soul is, that energy is getting into red corpuscles. That's what scientists say that, but where it is getting, they don't know. But we know from Shastra. Soul is the one who is passing that energy. Super soul is giving the energy to super soul, and the soul is passing. So soul you can think as a personal form of the Lord. Just as an example, 3 layers of consciousness. The soul is getting the energy, giving that energy to red corpuscles. Then how red corpuscles is getting the energy? Then through the life air, the air is transforming all this energy throughout the body. There are 10 kinds of air. The yoga, those who are following the yoga ladder, yoga platform, Ashtanga yoga, it talks about these 10 kinds of air. Prana, Upana, Apana, Samana, Udana, Vyana, these 5 kinds of gross air, and then the 5 kinds of subtle air. Naga, Kukara, Devadatta, Dhananjaya. In this way, the 5. So the life air is causing. In this way, we see that the soul is active, and it has a consciousness, it has a characteristics. Everybody is individual. Every living entity is individual. He has his own rasa, he has his own behavior. That is the personal form. If he is impersonal, how can he have a relationship? How can he have rasas? How can he have some qualities? Can you put some quality or give some characteristics of anything which is impersonal? Can you give a characteristic of a stone? Yes, it is fixed. That's all you can say. Nothing more. You cannot give much more. So that's why the soul has character, because he is personal. Soul is always personal. So that is from there your that energy is getting through the red corpus, that you can say thinking as a Paramatma, and then this energy is distributed everywhere. That is like a sun rays. That energy is distributed through the life air, throughout the body. So in this way we can understand many examples. We can think in that fashion. So here it is explained as Asha Bandhan Samutkanta, the great anxiety, excessive anxiety for improving things, or pleasing his spiritual master, fulfilling his spiritual master's wish. And then Namagana Sadaruchi we discussed, and then Asakti. Asakti tat gunakhyane. Asakti means attachment. Generally, Shakti means attachment. Asakti means fully attachment to the Supreme Lord. Shakti means material attachment, but Asakti means when it is A is used negation. That means it is spiritually fully attached to Krishna. There is one stage out of 10 stages from Adav Shraddha, there is the Asakti stage. It is explained that there is Adav Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Tata Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya means initiation. When you surrender to spiritual master, your name is changed, you are given neck beads and have a chanting beads chanted by the spiritual master. That is initiation. That is called Bhajana Kriya. You are receiving the seed of bhakti at the time in the heart. So then the actual bhakti grows, bhakti kripa grows. Then Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivurti is there. The actual Anarthas, actual real Anarthas within the heart. That's why Chaito Darpana Madhyam has to happen. Then the Anartha Nivurti starts. It says, Shastra is telling there is a Nishtha stage after Anartha Nivurti. Shastra is clearly giving the guidelines. When a person living entity finishes his 75% of his Anarthas, Prabhupada is explaining this, then he is in the Nishtha stage. So 75%, that means it's fully fixed up. Still the lingering elements, that 25% is there, that will be going through that Nishtha, which is little bit teeny portions here and there is there. So those all get cleared as he grows from Nishtha to Ruchi and to Asakti. After Ruchi, after Nishtha, then fixed up. That means nobody needs to guide him, to tell him, hey, you chant, or you come to service, or you do this, that. He is fully fixed up. Every day he knows he has full schedule. What is supposed to be done every day, what he is supposed to do. For festivals, he knows he has full schedule. So he is fully fixed up. He is not deviating any inch or bit or here and there because of the material circumstance or situations. He is fully focused. That is in the Nishtha stage. Then the Asakti, that means even further than that, is fully attached, fully focused. Even something which is not favorable, something which he doesn't have a inclination, but if it is pleasing to spiritual, he will give away that also. He is ready to do, even if it is not congenial for him, for his body. He is ready to do because it is pleasing to spirit. It is asakti, excessive attachment to fulfilling his spiritual master's directions or instructions, pleasing the Supreme Lord. This is called asakti. That's what another quality, as mentioned, asakti tat gunakyane, to glorify, to propagate, to preach this mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord. So that is asakti tat gunakyane, preeti tat vasati stale, that we discussed. So in this way, this is mentioned as 9 things. This is what the advanced devotee means. Now you can understand, when you say somebody is advanced, these are the characters. There could be different degrees of these characteristics, but at least there should be some level of this advancement in these 9 characteristics. How much he has these, to that degree, we can call that person is how much he is advanced. So in this way, we have to understand from Shastra everything in great detail. Otherwise, so you cannot really develop this, come to this absolute truth, fully realize. We cannot see God. We cannot communicate with God. Even though He is there as a super soul within the heart, we cannot see. We cannot communicate. We cannot even understand what is our original form. Are we the tree? Are we the bird? Are we the insect? Are we the what rasa we have in our original form in the spiritual world? So right now we are nothing. We are being covered. We are not even in that stage. When we come to Asakti and Bhava stage, like in Narada Muni's case, he could see Krishna. He could communicate with Krishna only a fraction of minutes, fraction of seconds. That happens when we come to that Asakti and Bhava stage. Our form will be revealed. What is our form in a spiritual world, and what is our rasa, that will be revealed. We don't need to materially think about it and start contemplating about it. When we come to that stage, that's why Prabhupada has given the all process, each and every detail he has given in his books. We don't need to go and approach this book or that book, or go and approach different personalities. outside of this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Especially Srila Prabhupada, in his books, everything he has given. From his warning, we can understand. And we can approach his disciples, his spiritual masters, if you have questions. But we don't need to go out and start approaching here and there, reading so many books. So that is very important thing we have to understand here. So yeah, tat shraddhadhana manayo. That's why it is mentioned manayo, thoughtful. Unless we are thoughtful, that means when we hear and chant, there should be introspection, there should be reflection. We should be thoughtful before we do any. Before we speak, first we have to think. Before we act in a way, we have to think. So that thoughtful, and that is why that monayo is used. Otherwise, you could have said tat shraddha dhana or something else. But monayo is used because when somebody is seriously inquisitive, he is also thoughtful. He is very careful, very gentle, very compassionate. So that is why that monayo is tat shraddha dhana monayo jnana vairagya yuktaya. Not material knowledge, but spiritual knowledge, enlightened knowledge. That means realized knowledge, not in a prakriti, not paroksha, not adokshaya, not even what is it? Yeah, aprakruta is last stage. Pratyaksha, paroksha, aparoksha, adokshaya, aprakruta. Last stage is aprakruta means spiritual world. Fully, completely, pure devotee of the Lord is an aprakruta stage. So that, but in the beginning stage, most of us are in the pratyaksha. What we see is what we believe. But next one is we may operate in the next level also. Pratyaksha is paroksha. That means we are taking the descending order from the disciplic succession from spiritual master and sadhu and shastra. We are understanding that is called paroksha. Then we put in practice when we start receiving transformation. Then it is called aparoksha. Then we start advancing from Vaidhi sadhana bhakti to Raganoga bhakti. Natural love come to Nishtha and Ruchi and Asakti, then it is called Adokshaja. Then when we come to the pure devotion, Krishna Prema stage, then it is called Aprakruta stage. So in this way, this is explained, Tat Shraddhadhana Manayo Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya. When it is equipped, the seriously inquisitive student, when he is thoughtful, when he is fully understand all these tattvas, putting in practice, he is realized it. Vairagya, Gnana, Vairagya Yukta, this is also detached internally. Then Paschanti Atmanicha Atmanam. He could see his soul, he could see the super soul. Paschanti. He could communicate, he could understand his rasa, his original swarupa, and he could communicate with the Lord. Paschanti Atmanicha Atmanam. Bhaktya Sruta Grahita. All these things is happening only by bhakti, not karma, not gnana, not yoga. The four kinds of people: karmis, Jnanis, yogis are Ashtanga who are seeing Paramatma. They will enter into Brahma Jyoti also. They will never enter into spiritual world unless they are worshipping the personal form of the Lord. So that is why karma, jnana, yoga, and then the last one is the transcendental bhakti yogi. So within that there are three categories. Prabhupada is explaining the purport. He is dividing this verse into three sections. First is categorizing the four kinds of people. And then he is categorizing, then the fourth kind of people is devotee. Within that there is the Kanishta Adhikari with the lower platform, which means he is worshipping the Lord, but is not concerned so much about the devotees and his relationship, how to serve the devotees. How much it is more important than the Lord is serving the devotees, and to hear, to chant, like how Srila Prabhupada is to hear from his spiritual master. He is not so much in taking darshan, but he is fixed up to hear from his spiritual master, to serve his spiritual master. That was more important than seeing. That means we have to act in such a way that Krishna wants to see us. We have to act in such a way that spiritual master wants to see us. Spiritual master wants to give service to us. So we have to act in that way. Then automatically the super soul is guiding the spiritual master also to give us instruction, to give us service. So that's why we have to operate on the from the what Shastra is instructing. Then when we operate on that consciousness, then automatically we will receive the mercy from the Supreme Lord through spiritual master, through advanced devotees. So that is what this is telling. Bhaktya Sruta Grahitaya. So this assimilation, the thoughtfulness, the introspection, the reflection, the excessive anxiety, all these are coming through the bhakti. Bhaktya Sruta Grahitaya. It is understood, it is realized, assimilated, and then gradually comes to the meditation, reflection, and then the bhava stage, ecstatic symptoms, is all through this platform of this seriousness and inquisitive, and then following this detachment, not pouring water on our bhakti, not doing any impious activities, We are getting rid of those impious activities, trying to detect, cutting it, trying to detect, cutting it, every level. We have to gradually go up like that. Just like when we have a disease, when we understood first time, when we get it, then we know doctor prescribes, then what we do? We don't want the disease come again. But that is for the, because we know this is a problem, it is giving a pain to the body. But since the actual concern of the heart is not talking, giving a pain to us, but we are neglecting. What is this chanting? What is this service? Why should I serve? Just I'll do something. Just follow the others. Everybody is chanting, I will also chant. But why should I chant? Why? What is the reason why I should become serious? What is going to happen in the life otherwise? What kind of implication I am going to get into? What has happened in the past? What is going to happen in the future if I don't do this right? If I don't do this seriously? So that we are nobody else, neither our wife, nor our kids, nor our family members. Nobody is going to help us. Only we can only help ourselves by the mercy of spiritual master. So that is why it is a serious business for a living entity, for the conditioned soul. That's why this chapter is very very important. Divinity and divine service. There is a connection. All these verses are there is a systematic sequence, systematic presentation, very clearly laid out. Starting from this first, answering the first question, all the way answering almost, I think, the first, second, third, three questions are answered in this chapter, but very systematically laid out. From 14, this Shraddha Dana is connected to next few verses. We will see that 14th verse onwards, we will see from how to go from the faith, 14 to 21. How Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has attained from, he went from Adhav Shraddha to Krishna. How he received his 10 gifts. How he is able to write Chaitanya Charitamrita. That example is there in Chaitanya of these verses from 14 to 21. From Adhav Shraddha, how to develop pure love of God, Krishna Prema. How Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has attained it. And that we can see, and many examples are there throughout the Vedic scriptures of these 10 steps of devotion. With that, we will stop here. I think we might have gone over time. Any questions? Lot of philosophy. Any questions from the Google Meet? It's already late. Sorry about that. Tomorrow is very important day. Gopastami. Try to meditate or try to think how we can serve, at least mentally. Tomorrow is the day when they offer various kinds of bhoga. They are all going for cow herding. Srimati Radharani is becoming a Gopa. Tomorrow they offer various articles, various things, especially the food items, so that they can have feast. When they go for cow herding, they get tired. So tomorrow morning they're going to offer in the temple. You can do at home if you are doing at home. So this is in this way we constantly meditate and try to serve whatever capacity we can offer, whatever even our family members may like, at least, because slowly when they understand, then we can do it. Go ahead. Anyone have questions on the Google Meet?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Srinivas Prabhu, go ahead.
Dhanwad Pranam. Prabhu, class is very nice, Prabhu. I joined late.
No
Sorry for
problem.
that.
No problem.
Yeah. When you said that Rupa Goswami gave 9 things to be practiced as a devotee,
Yes.
that is the first one you said, the forgiveness, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah, that one, see, forgiveness is, it should come really as a gesture, the human nature or the human gesture. If someone has done something, you forgive it. But if the person keeps on repeating this, so forgiveness is really useful for that person actually.
It is useful. Just like I'll say, why should we see, if let's say we take you have 3 or 4 friends or maybe 10 friends. There are different categories. Not everybody, even the medium is friendship, medium is to come together, get together and do something in common or whatever pleases for all these 10 people. But individually, individually they are at different levels. Individually they are at different. If somebody is mature, if somebody has done some mistake, knowingly or unknowingly, this is an ordinary material level, I'm saying, we forgive it because we know they are in all relationship friendship. But now when you come to the spiritual level, this is the material understanding. Okay, when you come to the spiritual level, what is our ultimate focus? Our ultimate focus is to serve Krishna. If somebody is coming in the middle doing something or saying something, it doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't solve any purpose. Because our duty is to serve the spiritual master, Supreme Lord, how to improve our business, our service business, our attitude, our consciousness. It is not nothing to do with somebody said something or somebody did something to us. That Krishna will take care. If we are in authority position, then yes, we are supposed to do something. Yes, we can inform the authority. This has been done by this devotee. See how we can fix it. That can be done. But when we take that into the heart and try to think about so many ways, reflect, rather than thinking how to improve, how I can improve my service, rather than thinking, meditating on these aspects, which is the negative aspects, is not going to help our consciousness, and that will keep on coming in the brain. The mind will keep on churning it, and later on in the next few days, and that gives anger, frustration, illusion. Those unwanted things also comes out in that way. So that's why we should never meditate. The brain should be used to store the transcendental subject matter, to think about the Lord and His service, or the improvements. That's all brain should be stored for. Nothing else should be stored, because minute you start storing all these things, what somebody has done it, what has somebody said it, even regular things, what did I do in last birthday, what did I do last anniversary, where were I when I am in college, what did I do 10 years ago, don't. What does it mean when you are operating on the spiritual platform? It doesn't mean anything. Whatever you have wasted, already I have wasted enough my lifetime, and then why should I think and meditate on that and waste again another few minutes? It doesn't make much sense. So that way, and also the ladders comes in the spiritual, when we are operating on the spiritual platform. More we become mature, you are supposed to forgive, because you are more learned than them. Then why we are supposed to forgive? If we are acting on the same platform with the other person, what is the difference? There is no difference. So that's why Srila Prabhupada, you see, is very much forgive. Only you could have react in a way when he is going out of the board, he is going out of the line, then he has to cut it. Then because when the finger, out of 5 fingers, one finger completely diseased, it is going to affect all other 4 fingers. He has to cut it. There is no choice at that point. So in those serious circumstances, Prabhupada might have done something, but otherwise is always forgiving despite mistake, because that is a propensity. More you go higher authority, more you become grow in the spiritual thing. There are things, there are consciousness gets affected. We become proud, we become, so many things will come. That is the nature of this material world. But more we are grounded, more we are hearing, more we are associating, more we are serving, more we are praying. This is constantly going on every day. Then at any point, nothing can harm us. Nothing. Our consciousness is always fixed. So that is why we have to be always in the association. That's why we have to follow very systematically, methodically, every day, consistently. That's what Srila Prabhupada has done it in his life. So that's why he could forgive. That's why he is not getting agitated. Even what so many big things has done. Now all his God brothers, so many of them, nobody helped him. Even they pulled him down. They tried to pull him down. That is what the Maya Shakti is so strong. Even within ISKCON in the society also, after he established temples, after he initiated also, some of them tried to claim Prabhupada as God, tried to preach so many things. So many different negative energies started coming, and he has to address it. He is very patient, diligent. He knows how to address it. So that's why he has to forgive, because he has a duty to perform. When he is looking at the spiritual master's fulfillment of his instructions, what is the big deal of somebody has said, my God brother has said this, or this person has done this what has, doesn't make much sense. It is not the real value. You have to see how he can continue on the service. Despite him doing mistakes, yes, he should be taught, and others can guide him, or others can be put in, instead of him being only alone president, sometimes 4 or 5 people has to be president. The responsibility might be shared, so that he cannot commit that same mistake again. He cannot take the money and run away with it. So all these things Prabhupada could have done, might have done in different places differently. But the idea is he was forgiving. He was merciful very much. If he is not merciful, who will be merciful? When Lord Nityananda Prabhu was merciful to Jagai and Madai, because Mahaprabhu is trying to give them the mercy, then they want to hurt him. They put broke the glass and hurt Nityananda and blood started coming. Then what did Nityananda tell? You think that since you hurt me, blood is coming, then I will not give you the Krishna Prema? That is the question. You can imagine how much mercy, more merciful than Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu started running, coming there with Sudarshan Chakra to kill Jagai and Madai. But Nityananda Prabhu is even more merciful, and he started to know you are supposed to give mercy. In this incarnate, you are not supposed to bring Sudarshan Chakra. Then more merciful than Nityananda Prabhu is still Prabhupada. His spiritual master is even more merciful. So that is the idea. So that's why, as a representative of Srila Prabhupada, as a representative of our spiritual masters, we should be very patient, very tolerant, because we are not operating at our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada level. They are at very higher level. So then how much we should be patient? You should be even more patient. Obviously some negative things will happen. Obviously some things we may not act in an appropriate way. Sometimes we do mistakes. That means we shouldn't become intolerant and we should be angry. No, we have to be patient. Sometimes nobody will show up in the class. Even Prabhupada also, for Prabhupada also this has happened. They advertise, they spent so much money, nobody showed up, only except one or two. Then what did Prabhupada said? Narada Muni has come and listen. Didn't you see it? That's what Prabhupada has said. So you can see Prabhupada was very much tolerant and patient. He is not thinking, he is not in a one day thing. He is thinking in a long run. So when you are thinking in a long perspective, in a span of 20 years, 30 years, what makes the difference of 1 minute? Somebody has said this, somebody has done this. It doesn't mean anything. So that's what we have to look at. The perspective from the Shastra is clearly defined. What is important, what is not important. So then automatically you will forgive. So it is not a big thing. And big stream of things. This is a small, teeny thing. So in that way we have to look at. That's what when you say advanced devotee, that is the characteristics of forgiveness. Because unless you are advanced, you cannot forgive. Because we are operating on the material platform, so you cannot forgive. So the mind is telling something else. So we are being disturbed. But Prabhupada is not disturbed. Prabhupada he has his own business to conduct. If he is disturbed, then how is he conduct? How is he going to fulfill his Prabhupada, his spiritual master? So that's what we can see. And that. So thank you very much, patiently listening. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.